Hello, everybody. It's time to read the comments. So I'm going to go video by video. We'll just see what you guys have said over the last week. On the video, how I learn best as an INTP. Yasin says, yes. Okay. Benicott, so accurate. Okay. The general premise of this video is like I was talking about how I take in information in huge swaths and I just sort of slowly process it over time. David Dufresne, interesting name. I never tried to learn this way. Might try after my midterms. Thanks for the insight, mate. I hope you do more videos like that. I'll try to do that. Andy Andrea, you're so TI heavy. Yeah, yep, definitely can be. I know that. Megan Illick. I absolutely do that. I'll obsessively take in information for a time, then I'll let it all connect subconsciously. Yep. Does anyone else have the issue of getting burnt out on certain subjects in the middle of learning them? I do. Lin Yen Chin. Yep, everyone. The point of burnout is different for all of us. CS censored seems to intentionally jump from subject to subject, specifically to avoid the sensation of burnout as he produces content for YouTube. You can do the same trick with exercise to bypass a plateau that would otherwise smash into you like a brick wall. That's part of why a circuit is helpful. Changes the tension and blood flow from one muscle group to the next, and by the time you return repeating the first exercise in that circuit, you can momentarily exceed in your previous max reps sets due to the improved blood flow and heightened concentration. Yep, can't argue. Extroverted intuition users tend to be the ones most often that do that. Mike Hart, what's up, Mike? I'm exactly the same way. It actually can be problematic at a new job. Yep, I've had that experience too at new jobs. I've actually been told by coworkers they thought I was slow. I know, it's such an annoying problem. Duh. And what's funny is they don't realize if once you're there, I mean, it's funny, like it's almost annoying because by the time you're there for a few months, you're better at your job than everyone else. Not necessarily, it's just at specific things. And then they just don't get it. But, you know, that's kind of what the whole point of learning this stuff is for, right? So that we can understand that about other people. Malika Abia. For me, I take a significant time to learn something new. At college, I see my classmates understand what they learn. They can do tasks. I mean, you can see an output from them. I can't. I got the information, but it won't compile unless I understand every detail related to it and connect everything together. Typical introverted thinking. Only then I can use the information and start the process I'm supposed to do. When I ask my classmates a question about the topic, they do not know. They actually did not think of the question at all. They think in a completely different way, like their brains are made to execute things with given information. Yeah, I'm a slow learner, but an accurate one. Yep, I can totally relate to that. Sophie Dion. Yeah, I have a similar experience as well when it comes to learning new stuff. I noticed this primarily in school. When I start a subject, I suck at it, but after a while, I get this exponential growth. So it's an INTP thing then? I think so. Haven't noticed this with other types, like ISTPs, for example. I believe it's specifically an SINE thing. Cerelius. Yeah, it's like a snowball effect. I feel it's got to do with NI as much as TI, as my INTJ brother has said. He's observed that I first use NE to happen, and as I continually experiment and deepen my understanding, eventually, bam, TI plus NI kicks in and it's only a god. But yes, seems like very much an INTP thing. Interesting. So it may have something to do, it may be related to NI critic. Next video, the fast food trip. I had a lot of fun making this one a few years ago. This is one of the older videos that I just uploaded recently. Kind of like an archive. Okay. 5 comments. Lin Yen Chin. Ah, you went to that outside place. Bold, man. Yep. I do actually go outside, believe it or not. Moonbee. We have delivery at this era. I'm like, yes, but a few years ago, well, it didn't even matter. The fast food place was like right around the corner. I'll comment that. Wasn't really an option at the time. Michelle Wilson. Hey, Michelle. Okay, this was fantastic. Thank you. That means something to me. G Pella. New channel direction? Maybe. This is more who I am than anything else I post. Of course, I will still do, of course, I'm always interested in ideas. So probably more along the lines of conveying ideas in a filmic way like this. Okay. Michael Komatov. Okay. Okay, next video. Haven't put that one up yet. The cookie heist. Cookies. Lin Yen Chin, a Russian assassin. Oh no. Yeah, that's my friend Alex. I believe he's an ENFJ. I've spent several hours talking with him one day, and probably that's the case. Cookies equal life. Lin Yen Chin. Michelle Wilson. Bah. Yeah. My sister will always love. Yeah, this is one of the more favorite videos I've ever produced. But the problem is I don't really know how to title these, because I know this video is worth a lot of views. And it's like, well, I enjoy it within my own self, but I would like to also share that with other people. So I'm like not sure how to title it and stuff so that people who should see it do see it. And plus my channel, the way that it's designed is very extroverted intuition-y. It's like I go all over the place, and typically the algorithm wants you to be more focused in your style. So that's an issue. And I thought about making multiple channels, but if I did that, I might make like 10 channels. I don't know. What makes us happy? Oh, yes, this is an old video I did a couple years ago. I just never uploaded. Let's see what people said about it. I think I had some reasons why I didn't upload it. I'm going to see if the comments reflect that. Priya Parth. If it interests you, can you make a video on the relationship of INTP with other types? Actually, yes. I just recorded a video of this yesterday, comma. It may take me a little while to edit, though, because I'm in the middle of a film project. Yeah, I'm working on a film project. Daniel did what to thoughts? That's abuse. Crying face. I don't know what to say that. I mean, Moonbee. Sometimes hanging out with people, more problems and you don't really feel better. Yeah, let's see if I can think how I could put that. It has something to do with coming from the correct emotional root within yourself, comma. I need to talk about this more in the future, comma. It's hard to describe with words. A little bit of a typo with autocorrect, but that'll be fine. Andy Andrea, pursuing happiness is futile. Happiness is a momentary state of being, not a lifestyle. Okay, so there's a book I read a while back called The Flow Genome. Well, it's actually part of the Flow Genome project. It's called The Rise of Superman. And I talked about this in my, I believe, Thresholds of the Brain video a little bit. I talked about it even more in my How Your Mental State Affects Perception of Reality video. I would definitely check that one out on this topic, but I will comment. True, comma. Have you heard of the research about how repeated flow states increase your baseline happiness levels? Question mark. I'm going to edit this down so it's a little bit shorter. Lin Yin Chin, we can't create, only fabricate. There are a multitude of realities. There's only reality. It's real because it's the only one. Yeah, I do agree that there is only, like, whatever this is, there's only one of it. When I say reality, what I mean is, like, some people have different numbers of color receptors. So it's like, we both know that, like, this is the same phone, but the way it looks to me, depending on what mood I'm in, is going to be different, and the way I'm going to interact with it is different, if that makes sense. Elsa Grace, yes, you can't deny that in response, you can't deny that each person has their own perspective on reality. For them, this is the reality. So many realities exist. That's basically what I just said. But Lin Yen Chin says, perspective is subjective, not reality. Stop pretending the mind defines reality. That's a haughty delusion of generic confusion. With such delusion, people push the lie that facts generate truth, and truth is subjective rather than reality. I don't know. I feel like we're mincing words a little bit here. I mean, I think I know what you're getting at, but it's hard for me to, like, why are you so exact about the wording? I mean, I used to be that way myself, and I still am internally. I just don't really necessarily. I try to convert basically with the words that others use into my own internal system of understanding, if that makes sense. Could be wrong there. That's something I'm really trying to figure out. And then Elsa Grace. Spend money on learning skills. Major left out. Maybe you hold the reality and therefore the belief that all adults have skills that allow them to enter flow states and collect money. Absolutely not true. So many of us were neglected in childhood. Our parents did not notice or encourage our joy and interest towards skill building. That's a really good point. Yeah, let me comment. Okay. Amazing point, comma. I was really well nurtured in childhood, and so I developed a lot of skills that I suspect a lot of people may not have, regardless of type. Yeah. Improving INTP emotions. Oh, this one was fun. This video is essentially like basically the idea that your emotions are a little weaker, but there are certain ways that you use them as an INTP, and I'm talking about specific experiences I had about that. Malika, I watched this video, sped up and noticed just how much you blink. I think it just depends on what mood I'm in. I think I was in a really hyped mood when I made this video, as opposed to how I learned best as an INTP. I was a little bit more of a low, like slow and slow, probably not as much blinking. Like right now I'm a little like a 7 out of 10 in my mood level in terms of like energy levels. So yeah. I'll comment interesting, because yeah, I mean, Sunflowy, we absolutely loved the special effects. Yeah, I try. I do a lot of film stuff in my free time, so I mean that makes sense that my special effects would be good. So yeah, thank you, comma. That means a lot to me, comma. I think about that stuff a lot. Kid Wild rolls your bones. This is my friend Dustin. I believe he's an INFJ. And the test also said INFJ, so I mean... Gotta feel the funk! King Cams, your videos never disappoint. Yeah, I try to be entertaining and also informative. I'm really trying to figure this out. Like, my anti-critic just wants to do everything. Well, it sees all the options and it's like, I don't know which one to pick. So if you notice, you guys really should check out some of my videos that aren't very clickable. A lot of these newer ones are really quite good, I think. Of course, but the comments say it's good, but I know a lot of times I click on videos that I don't think are very good. The comments say, this is great. So I really take comments with a grain of salt for that reason. The algorithm knows how to pander videos to people who will like the video, you know? So there's always that aspect of things. Video I put out yesterday, appealing to reason versus appealing the heart. Basically talking about when should you pay attention to the feelings between people in a situation versus the, rational reasons. Style, where I lived, etc., etc. By the way, is the sound quality good on my videos? I'm never sure if I should go with like this very close, intimate sound like you're hearing now, or if a more recessed sound like you might hear from a movie trailer, for example. Because I know how to do both. It's just a matter of like what is better. I think it depends on the content, but whatever you think. Okay. Sounds like Life 13. Also, maybe it's about different phases of life, of cognitive development, whether you're a thinker or a feeler. Yeah, because your prefrontal cortex develops as you get older. Each type maybe has different sequences of overall life journey. Yeah, comma. I read one of those websites a while back that talked about phases of the personality types. Period. Also, comma, have you taken childhood development in psychology? Question mark. Very interesting stuff. Andrea. Okay, when it comes to the public spectrum, I am more feeling and emotive in my tone because I know it is better received. That's a very TE thing to say, Andrea. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Andy, I guess. So as I start to do more beauty aesthetics and fashion content, my persona will be very girly. Yes, but make sure you're being authentic. It's very, authenticity, I think, is one of the main draws of YouTube. You got to be your real self. It's really, really, really important. Like I'm high energy sometimes, and so I act high energy in those videos. Sometimes I'm low energy, and I just try to match the energy level. I don't actually know if that really works, but maybe it's just a weird TI thing I do. Oh, and then I'll look at the next sentence. Even if it is not my 100% authentic self, simply because it will appeal. That's dangerous, Andy, because you give off honest signals, like you're like, ba-da-ba, and people can hear in your tone of voice how honest you're being. So you've got to be careful about that. There's a great book called Honest Signals by Sandy Pentland, I recommend. Thinkers, by and large, have found to be more the minority. Sensors and feelers to be the majority. Well, yes, that's true. Yes, sensors, feelers are the majority. Yeah, I agree. Anytime I manage or control a business, I'm much more myself and thinking oriented. Also, good video and perspective and agree about communication. Yeah, it's all about communication skills, guys. What should I say? How do I? Totally agree about the different perspectives you take. Comma. That's part of clear communication skills, I guess, period. There's a book called Honest Signals by Sandy Pentland that is related to the topic of authenticity you might like. Comma, up to you if you want to read it. Okay. Lin Yan Chen. Like, are you Asian? I really have no idea. Is this the noise that is logos versus pathos? Yeah, I remember in philosophy class we talked a lot about that. Love this comment. By the way, I love comments based on whether I love them or not. Like, I'm just like, do I like this? And I don't really give much credit though to that system. I don't believe it captures the full spectrum of emotions. I mean Facebook added like wow and surprise and stuff, which it still doesn't capture. It's just not the same as real life interaction. Yes, comma. It's similar, but I don't think I meant it that way. Period. I'm basing this on personal experience, and I wasn't really referencing my studying or anything like that. Escaping our flaws, that one's not up yet. Dopamine versus gut feelings. Released this yesterday. This one is basically the delineation between what gives you like, oh, it feels good versus what you actually feel is right deep within yourself, which is definitely not the same thing. Lin Yan Chen, dopamine, that gut sensation of constipation. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty accurate. I think dopamine is, well, yeah, comma, I haven't really thought of it like that, comma, dopamine is directly related to this emotional constipation you speak of. Clayton, I love the little side life realization type videos that you make, man. I have these same random thoughts. I really like, one thing I really like about YouTube is that you attract people that I think in the same way you do. And I think it's more important to do that than appeal to mass views. I do some videos that I think are more applicable on a wide scale. So he has the same random thoughts sometimes where he figures out something about life, or he shifts his perspective slightly about a philosophy that he's held for years, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm figuring it out. Yeah, and I love these insights we get. You know, it's the small things like these little insights you get day to day that I think really make life worth living. Or he basically said what I just said there in the next sentence. And then he said, or it might be just be because I'm a pseudo-intellect who gets off on constructing my own reality, so I don't have to deal with the world. Yeah, that's a very TE Nemesis thing to say, Clayton. Really glad you like the videos, comma, I try, period. It's very typical of lead TI. I have to type it in manually because my thing doesn't know what TI is. Construct your own reality and ignore the world around you. Comma, I find that taking in high quality information helps a ton, comma, specifically reading books, period. Check my video, 3 tips for INTPs. I also scatter various book-related stuff throughout my channel. Waiting on my connection to go through so that it will move on. There we go. I live in a rather congested area when it comes to data. So when I run out of my priority data, which I have, it can be slower sometimes, which I don't mind at all, actually. Sloswy Zasks. What are you? Are you Russian? I'm not sure. Anyway, I thought you said you were doing a break, and then there's tons of videos. Yeah, I figured I'd get some comments like that. Yeah, I have an issue with telling you exactly what I mean when I post a video. Like when I say I'm going on a hiatus, what I meant was I'm not going to be replying all the time constantly. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to confuse you. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you. Common. I meant that I won't be checking comments constantly, comma, more at regular intervals. Malika Abuila. See this name a lot. Can you give more examples that extinguish between the two? Lin Yenshin. It's just a vague flailing of materialist noise. Seems to be attempt at distinguishing what is luring you at a given moment. Loud emotional stimulus versus instinctive recognition of logical coherence and utility within the presentation. The underlying intent with this episode seems to be about the same thing, which is better articulated in this next video. Valuable versus wasteful use of your time. Yeah, I can see that, Lynn. If you haven't noticed, a lot of the videos I do are very similar in the topic. I'm trying to hit the same general principle at different angles, because I think that the way that you see things, we're not very good at seeing things from the same perspective. We're not very good at seeing things directly as they are, so it seems like we have to hit them from multiple angles to really know what's going on. Something like that. Okay. Then the next video that I have up is "Don't let the attention thieves get you." Yeah, this is the one he was talking about.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Andrew is my name.
Andrew is my name. No, it's just my game. Okay, this video, I'm talking about how your attention gets sucked up by constant notification streams and anything that grabs your attention in the moment. It's very dopamine based. If you don't really understand how dopamine works, it's basically what forces you to pay attention to something. If you have low dopamine levels, you're not going to feel motivated. It's kind of similar to depression, but you can have low dopamine levels and not be depressed. It's really not quite that simple. He means minds and not brains. Yes, Lynn, I know. I'm not sure how to flow with that in a constant sense. It's just easier for me to use the word brains. Andrea, placebo effect is the real deal. Linian Chin, seems his intent in this video is to say, set your priorities straight. Yeah, I try to make my videos so that people understand what I mean. It's something I try to work on. Monroe of Morgan, great video. Thank you. Okay, most recent video. Dave Superpowers versus C.S. Joseph. I talked about the distinction between how their systems work, but how I really think they're just trying to map out the same thing. There's this saying called "the map is not the territory," which is essentially saying that reality is always the same, just like Lynn was talking about earlier. It's just that the difference is, just like even what I was talking about a second ago, it's just understanding that we're trying to figure out these theories and ways of mapping it with ideas and such so that we can accurately know what to do or know how to feel about it.
That person separately, and if they can.
You mean looking for consistency or looking for coherence? Let's see. He timestamped Lin Yen Chin.
For coherency, I'm looking for if this is true, then this is true.
Oh, he's talking about TI. Okay, again, correcting exactly how I speak. Yes, Lynn, thank you. Sounds like Life 13. Hello again. I wonder if cognitive functions affect even the perception of other. Yes, they do. They definitely. The way you're going to see FE is going to be influenced by your type. The way you see TI is going to be influenced by your type. Imagine trying to talk about TI to an IFP. INFPs and ISFPs. That'd be an interesting experiment. Like if maybe I should get someone on camera. Maybe I should get someone on camera, and we can ask questions about TI to TI demons, like IFPs. See what they say. Oh, it's interesting. Yeah, sounds like life came to the opposite conclusion I did. Objective typing is more practically relevant, and the other is more theoretically logical, but off because it's fitting people to type, not type to people. Chicken or the egg problem. Or types categorization strategy developed from the diversity of human minds to create an impression of logical understanding. The specific reason I said C.S. Joseph was more practical, in my opinion, was that I can hold it in my working memory more efficiently, although I think Dave's superpowers is more accurate in a literal sense. Period. And usually when I think about this stuff, I'm thinking, how should I interact with this person to best understand them and facilitate understanding of me? So again, it's a matter of clearly defining exactly what we mean when we say these things. To take that further, there are personality systems that just use a few letters, and they're either a P or an S, for example. When it comes to practicality, I tend to try to apply things in real time. I guess it's the definition of practicality that we're concerned about here. William Rabar. There's value in both. I agree. I think C.S. Joseph is putting his money where his mouth is and showing his work in real time. Yes, in real time. That's what, yeah. Dave Superpower's channel has a lot of value, but I suspect his typing method is as accurate. Yes. The real question is CSJ versus Eric from Talking with Famous People. I suspect C.S. Joseph to be more accurate using his borrowed methods. Yeah, because C.S. Joseph bases his stuff on Linda Behrens, John Beebe. I've seen him say, you're not an INTP because you can't use any in real time. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. So it's like, for example, when I try to use SC, I have to think about it and process it in a delayed sense. So it's not like I'm not actually using SC, I'm using an emulation of SE, if that makes sense. Which I actually think emulations have a lot of value. You can actually do a lot of things that are special to your type, depending on, like if I'm an SC trickster, I can actually use SC in a way that most people wouldn't. Same way, like I would bet INFJs can use TE in a way most people can't, or TI tricksters like ENFPs can use TI in a way most people can't. I'm not sure if that's true, but it's an interesting theory. And Eric, I think when Eric was interviewed by Dave Superpowers, he said, you can't be ENTJ because you can't recall this SI event. When he was interviewed with Dave Superpowers, I'm not sure if you're referring to Eric or CSJ, you can't be ENTJ because you can't recall this SI event. I think he often fails to account for the nuances between functions. Watch host Eric type write ruminations on his channel for reference. Type write ruminations. Okay, yeah, I'll have to check that out. Okay, yeah, that's it, everyone. So, appreciate you watching. I got more videos coming. I think I mentioned all the relevant things that I could mention about my channel just in the passing here as I was reading the comments. Trying to be a bit more fun, more myself, like the fast food trip, for example, or Kid Wild. That's really what my identity is tied to. And I use the TI stuff as sort of a thinking ground to help bring that together, if that makes sense. I'm not sure that it does, but yeah, I appreciate your comments. If you like this style of video, I took inspiration from C.S. Joseph for this, except I'm not doing it live because I don't have a fast enough internet connection. But yeah. Peace, y'all. Ah!